Hello, 7th grade. This video is going to go over the LP20 assignment. I know it looks pretty long, but be aware there is only one problem on each page, so it's not as big as it seems. The very first page has some information for you as far as setting up and how to work through this and some advice. So if you're working on a computer versus if you're working on a tablet, you may want to check this out to just kind of double check that you're doing things right. But there are also some practice numbers that you can click and drag and practice moving around the page. Okay. Page 2 and page 3 are 4 worked out examples for you that show you how to do each type of problem. So page 2 has addition and subtraction one-step equations that you will need to cancel on both sides. Page 3 has a multiplication and a division one-step equation that you will need to practice solving. But they are worked out for you to be able to see neatly and organized how all of the steps are breaking down. I am going to show you how to do a couple of these as well, and then the remainder will be for you to do as your assignment for the week. So this first equation says -3 plus some number x equals 14, and our job is to figure out what number goes in the box for x. There are all of the numbers that you need, as well as the multiplication, subtraction, addition. There is a fraction bar right here. That's that little pink bar. There's a big equals line, which is the green line. You have parentheses, you have an equals, and you have all the variables that you may need as well. So in this case, we have -3 plus x, right? I want to get rid of this -3. I want to cancel it out of there so that my x is left alone. So remember, you always do the opposite of what you have. If I have a negative, that means I need to add the number 3 to both sides of this equation. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to add 3. And you can see now I've got a +3 on both sides. And we're going to drag an equals line up. Boom. It cancels out over here. -3 and +3 is going to cancel. We're just left with x, so I'm going to bring my x over, bring it down. We're just left with x. Bring down the equals sign. And 14 plus 3 gives us 17. So I'm going to put my 1 and my 7. And you can see all you got to do is drag the right pieces into spot. Your answer is right there. Please make sure to keep all of your work neat and organized. It is very important that I can tell what you're thinking and what you're doing when you solve these. Okay, so that is how we do number 1 when you have a negative number that you're wanting to cancel. Number 2 here, we have 3x equals 18. The goal is still to get x by itself. This 3x here is a type of multiplication. So if I have a multiplication problem, I want to use division to cancel it out. So I'm going to grab my little division fraction bar here, and we're going to divide both sides by this number 3. So we can put a 3 on the bottom. And we're going to bring our equals sign over. So 3 divided by 3 gives me a 1, and I'm just left with my x over here. Bring our equals sign over. 18 divided by 3 gives me the number 6. Boom, drop it off. That's it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do 2 more with you just so you can see the full process. So this one is 38 plus some number x equals 15. We have a positive number that we're going to have to cancel, which means I'm going to subtract. We're going to minus 38 on both sides of my equals. We're going to minus 38. Let's line that up a little bit neater for it. Minus 38. And go ahead and drop your equals sign down there. So 38 minus 38 cancels out. I'm just left with my x. I have my equals. 15 minus 38. Okay, the negative is bigger, so our answer here would be negative. And the difference between 15 and 38 is, let's see, we need 15 to get to 30 and an additional 8. So that should be 23. Okay, and you can always double check. If you've got larger numbers, you can double check yourself on a calculator. So in this case, we get x equals negative 23. That's it. You're done. It is neat. It is organized. We're going to look at one more just so you can see one example of each type of problem. This is a division problem. It says y divided by 2 equals negative 60. So we want to cancel out this division. We're going to do the opposite. We're going to multiply. So we're going to use this little dot down here for multiplication. We're going to multiply on both sides. We want the 2 to go away. So we're going to multiply both sides by our 2. And we find out, drag our equal sign over, 2 times the division here. That cancels out. We're just left with y. Pay close attention that you're using the right variables. Bring down your equal sign. Negative 60 times 2, a negative times a positive is still a negative. 60 times 2 is going to be 120. Okay, so we have done 4 of these problems together. You have had one example of each type of problem. Okay, there are still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 problems for you to do on your own as extra practice. Once you've gotten them all completed, get them turned in on Google Classroom. Okay, have a great afternoon, everybody.